I would first like to invite everyone to think about their day, reflect on the activities that we participated in today, and really think about what it was that we accomplished. Now, as we ponder this, I want you to ask yourselves a question. Did you do the best that you could do today? When you looked back on the activities of the day, did you give 100%? Could you have done better? Did you sell yourself short? You've heard it before in many different ways, and it probably sounded like something along the lines of, if this was your last day on earth, how would you live it? And I think naturally we all kind of resort to those crazy and thrilling answers, maybe skydiving, for example, something that is not an everyday activity. I also think, though, from this question, there's another answer that can be found that is something that we don't always think about, and that is did we, if today had been our last day on earth, did we live it to our potential? Did we do everything that we could to perform above mediocre, to give it 100% and accomplish the things that we wanted to for ourselves? Did we take half measures? Did we sell ourselves short? Did we let ourselves down? Personally, this has been something that I have been trying to ask myself a lot more often and consider before I make decisions for how I'm going to plan my day and how I'm going to live my day. Something I've had to realize that we are not battling with each other. We're not competing in this world against each other, but really we're in a competition with our own selves and living up to our own potential and fighting our natural demons per se, or maybe our weak spots or parts where we aren't giving our 100%. So I will just kind of be talking about how some ways that we can achieve these things that we want for ourselves and how we can get there, and how every single day we are able to put in 100% and get the results that we were looking for. So in order to accomplish these things, there are several things that you need to do just generally in order to make these things attainable. So one, you need to visualize your goals and recognize the things that you want and how you're going to get them. Second, you have to recognize that these goals and achieving these little goals is essential as we exercise self-discipline, even in times of little motivation or energy. It also requires a commitment today to make the most of each and every day and set standards and expectations for ourselves that we must live up to. So some of these benefits may be we will accomplish the things that we want to in the long run. David Goggins, who was a Navy SEAL, he came from a place of poverty and rose to such poverty and all these hardships in his life, and rose to such a successful person and such a successful and honored career. He says, "I thought I'd solve a problem when really I was creating new ones by taking the path of least resistance." So this is just something to kind of ponder a little bit. By doing these things, it will help us reach our full potential, help us exercise self-discipline. He also says, only you can master your mind, which is what it takes to live a bold life filled with accomplishments and most people consider beyond their capability. We need to recognize that doing these things are not always easy, and we need to find the strength and passion to do so. Ron Hall, who is a speaker, he's been featured on TED Talks, very successful. He says, most people want to be circled by safety, not by the unexpected. The unexpected can take you out, but the unexpected can also take you over and change your life. Put a heart in your body where a stone used to be. In our society, people will feel happier, more confident, and energized when we accomplish our goals. Whether they be educational, personal, artistic, financial, whatever they are, setting goals will make them more attainable. Somewhere where we can see it, somewhere where we are able to visualize and constantly be reminded of the goals. There's a plan that you need to make to be able to get to these things. There's several just different components to be able to accomplish this and instill this mindset. It's not an easy check on the box, but it really comes with gradual and continual progression. It starts with recognizing our self-worth. We recognize our talents and abilities and appreciate who we are and what we are, and find that we are equipped with many skill sets to accomplish things that we need to do. We need to set these goals. We need to recognize our dreams and ambitions and make efforts to truly understand the steps we need to take to get there. We have to also promise ourselves that we are going to fight for them. David Goggins talks about in his book he wrote called Can't Hurt Me, that it's not relying on the sparks of motivation, rather it's exercising self-discipline that's going to get us where we need to be. You have to just do it. These things are not easy, but by continually practicing these things, we are building habits which will make these things a lot more attainable. We have to just gain a little bit of insight and make a little game plan for ourselves and what we want to accomplish. So with that being said, it's just something that we need to really prioritize in our lives through these steps, by making goals, firstly, by recognizing our worth, understanding what we're capable of and not selling ourselves short is the first step. Secondly, it's by making these goals that are attainable and that we truly understand how to achieve, so that we're able to come over these roadblocks and continue progressing in the way that we see our lives going. That's probably one of the most important part, by just kind of making a picture for ourselves. Where do we want to be instead of just being? And lastly, it's exercising that self-discipline. It's doing those hard things, even in times of laziness, or just when we lack that motivation. We don't always have that drive and that, gung-ho attitude to go after and pursue these things that are not always inconvenient. So exercising this continual self-discipline will pay off in the end, but it will continually take work and effort. So I can sit and yak about this all day long and kind of help provide a little bit of insight about our potential and what we're able to accomplish. But the truth is that it doesn't matter how much I talk, because you won't do anything unless you really understand and you see these things about yourself and your lives too. So I leave the question with you. I presented all these things and a dumbed down per se way to achieve them. So with this insight and with this knowledge, I leave it with you, the question to ask yourself: what will you do from here? Thank you.